How many self-proclaimed Porsche aficionados does it take to have an argument discussing the merits or lack thereof of the base 718 Cayman? Who cares? Let's do this. The Porsche Cayman comes standard with a 2-liter turbocharged flat-4 Boxer engine. But as with all Porsche models, the Cayman can be had in a wide range of variants, each more powerful than the next. If the Cayman S is a bold smoked Gouda and the GTS 4.0 a Stilton potent enough to make your eyes water, then the base Cayman is an aged cheddar. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with a snappy little cheddar. The sounds emanating from the Cayman's 2-liter aren't the world's most voluptuous automotive tones. But for everyone who likes a throaty Antonio Banderas cooing in their ears, there's someone who prefers a goofy Jimmy Fallon. Hey, even Fallon has charm. So the auditory ping-pong match aside, this 2-liter engine actually feels pretty eager. Now this is like the kid who's always bringing apples and putting them on the teacher's desk. It really wants to impress, and let me tell you, it does. Now this Cayman has the Chrono Sport package on it. That'll cost you $2,600, but it will also help you demonstrate just how capable this engine is. So in normal mode, I'm cruising on the highway. I'm going about 70 miles an hour and I'm in 7th gear, which is the most efficient for gas mileage. But you can feel this engine just wants to do so much more. If you switch to sport mode at the same speed the Cayman downshifts, revs increase, and it becomes obvious pretty quickly just how much more juice we can squeeze here. Sport Plus only amplifies that. In addition to throttle response, the Chrono adjusts settings for chassis and suspension stiffness, amplifies the exhaust sound, giving it a snorting crackle. The PDK gets shorter shifts and longer ratios, as well as making adjustments to the steering to help the driver conduct it all. Have fun, Maestro! There's also launch control, and if you hit this little button right here in the center of the control dial, you get a 20-second power goose. It is a great time to be alive. I got this morning on the windshield from one of my neighbors. But to this I say, both of Porsche's transmission options only add to the bravo of it all. Porsche's manual 6-speed transmission and gearbox should really be the standard by which all other manuals are judged. No, I don't have a stick on this car. But if anyone out there is trying to transmission shame you for getting Porsche's world-class PDK, yes, even the Cayman's 7-speed automatic instead of the 911's 8-speed, well then their karma in eternity is a droning CVT. So you've got good power and you've got a great way to deliver it. But if this and the 718 Boxster are considered the entry level to the brand, does the rest of the driving package live up to the Porsche badge? Well, yeah. Thanks to the mid-engine's placement, this car's got great balance. Turns in the Cayman make you feel as smooth as Lindsey Vonn in a Super G. The upgraded 235/40 Pirelli P0s up front and 265s in the rear adhere to the road in white-on-rice fashion. This thing wants you to absolutely flog it in the canyons, and it'll do so really gracefully and without ego while you figure out what it's capable of and what you're capable of as a driver. Look, you're probably not Hurley Haywood behind the wheel, and that's okay. You know what, if you think you are, well, you're probably not. Porsche's standard brakes are more than adequate with this engine. Now you can upgrade to Porsche's ceramic brakes, but in this package, I really don't think you need to. The suspension settings in Sport Plus don't feel spine compressing. They're stiff enough that you have firm control, but they're also compliant enough that you don't feel like you need to go to Dr. Feelgood after a drive. This example I'm driving includes PASM, which is Porsche's active suspension management system that drops the height of the car 10 millimeters for less drag. Buyers can add a torque vectoring system and upgraded power steering, but that might push you closer to S or GTS prices, and you might be better off going right there instead. Even in normal mode, the Cayman allures. I enjoy driving this on the freeway almost as much as I do in the canyons. The only thing, honestly, that's inelegant about it is the stop-start function, and blessedly, I can shut that off. So would I daily drive this? What's that emoji with like the 100 and it's in red and it's like whoosh? Yeah, like a bunch of those. If you are looking at the Cayman as a daily, then EPA numbers should interest you. So here they are. But even with those inoffensive gas mileage numbers, is daily driving a two-seater sports car really all that practical? With the Cayman, you get a lot of everyday creature comforts. Standard features include filtered climate control, 18-inch wheels, LED daytime running lights, and your first standard maintenance check at 10,000 miles. If you're worried about utility, the Cayman has more storage than you might expect, with the added bonus of your friends never asking you to help them move. Somebody asked me if you could fit a set of golf clubs in here. Now, I don't know anybody who golfs, so I couldn't find any. But just looking, I'm going to say, unless you're swinging kids' clubs, you might want to move up to the Panamera. Or snap your clubs in half like Caddyshack style. Other golf club carriers might include the Corvette C8, which holds up to 2 sets of clubs, the Mustang GT350, or the Toyota Supra. No clubs in there either. If your rectangular Lemming carry-on doesn't fit, Porsche makes a set of luggage that's made just for this car. But a more flexible duffel bag or even 2 work just fine. Speaking of the luggage, I would be doing you a huge disservice if I didn't talk about the bevy of options. If you've never been to the Porsche website, go there now and configure a car. It's so much fun. But before you head to Porsche.com, if you're enjoying this video, well, Micah and I have one out every Monday and occasionally on Thursdays. So head over to the Kelley Blue Book YouTube channel and subscribe. You know, I can't decide who's better looking, the real Micah or this hunk. Fist bump, buddy. Porsche's option sheet reads like the Cheesecake Factory's menu, full of yummy things that may or may not be good for you. There are myriad wheel options, a Skittles bag worth of paint colors, and upgrades to things that you didn't even know were upgradable. Did you know that you can have the climate control panel painted to match the outside of your car? Go on, keep configuring. I'll wait. Mine took a half an hour. The interior of the Cayman isn't chintzy, but it's not exactly bespoke either. So if plastic is not your material of choice, then head back to that option sheet because Porsche will literally cover everything in leather, including the steering wheel column and even your sun visors. So trim bits can be had in wood, carbon fiber, or brushed aluminum if you prefer. For functionality of the interior, I'm giving the Cayman a very good minus. It comes standard with a 7-inch touchscreen and the right number of physical buttons, so when you're driving, you don't have to look away from the road if you need to adjust anything. And look, Ma, even cup holders. Apple CarPlay is available, but sadly no Android Auto. That's what the minus is for. The navigation system on the Cayman costs extra too, and even though Porsche's system is one of the most intuitive in my opinion, for the huge discount, I'd stick to Apple CarPlay. Porsche seats are some of my favorite in all of Carland. You know, if I could, I would put these in everything that I own. They're easy on your booty for the long haul or the short hop, and if you upgrade, you can get your heat on. Okay, I have been asked how this works with a taller driver. I happen to have a 6'3" dude. He's gonna tell us. This is James. Y'all know James. Get in. I know that. Sorry. He looks great getting in there. It's very elegant. Well done. How's the headroom?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Comfortable?
I can drive it.
You could rock it? Of course you could. It's James. James could rock anything. The Cayman doesn't come with much in the way of standard dynamic safety features, but it does have a front and rear parking assist and the rear camera. You can upgrade and get adaptive cruise control that's only available on the PDK, not the manual. It does have a stop-start function, but only to 19 miles per hour. There's an available blind spot warning too, which comes in very handy in a low roof sports car, but I have to say the visibility in here is not that bad. There are Mazdas that are worse than this. By comparison, the Cayman is very livable when it comes to seeing outside of your highly personalized Porsche. Pricing on the 718 Cayman starts at around $58,900, including a destination charge. And the S will pry almost $72,000 out of your hands. And that's before using the Build a Porsche website. While pricing on the GTS isn't available at the making of this video, we at Kelley Blue Book think it'll come in near the high 80s. As you know, if you've just made your perfect German fun machine, those base numbers can skyrocket quickly depending on what you add. Impractical, entry-level Porsche, not as fun as the 911? Meh! I say world-class German engineering and driving dynamics wrapped in a gorgeous and very livable package. The 718 Cayman is an absolute overachiever. Don't knock it till you try it.